travel benefits to scam shield protection, all with taxes and fees included. So the price you see is the price you pay. When you're a T-Mobile customer, you get over $225 in value every month in benefits with our Max Family Plan.
That's not paying for nosebleed seats, getting us in the front row.
At T-Mobile, your family gets over $225 worth of value and benefits with our Max Plan each and every month. Plus, with our Price Lock Guarantee, we won't raise your rate plan price for talk, text, and data ever.
That's like paying for a cab and getting a stretch limo.
At T-Mobile, you get value beyond the expected. Qualifying service required. Value based on included monthly benefits. Sales tax and rate. Max's monthly price. Price Lock guarantees free price of talk, text, and data for new accounts with qualifying service. Exclusions. Which NorCal drivers are having the most fun right now? Ask anyone who owns a Honda.
This car is actually both reliable and safe and a lot of fun.
My Honda is a beast. My Honda is delicious.
Honda has the happiest drivers in America, and it's the most fun to drive, period. New Hondas are arriving daily. See your NorCal Honda dealer today.
Happiest drivers based on 2021 ACS customers rating the performance of their own automobile.
Visit NorCalHondaDealers.com.
ERC Employee Retention Credit. This is where the federal government will give employers up to $26,000 per qualified employee. So if you had 10, that would be up to over $250,000. If you had 20, up to just over $500,000, and so on. And there's two different ways to qualify. And what is a crying shame, a lot of people think you have to have both. And a lot of people were told, even by their CPAs, that if your gross rate down by a certain amount, you didn't qualify. Not true. There's a different independent way to qualify. Bottom line is, you can just contact us. We'll tell you if you qualify. And if you do, let's get your free money from the federal government. It's a grant. That means you don't pay it back. It's not a loan. It's just yours to do with as you please. 888 Tax Deal. That's 888-TAX-DEAL. Or MoskowitzLLP.com. MOSKOWITZLLP.com.
KCBS News Time, 7:58. We'll get an update on the roads now from your local Honda dealer's traffic center with Kim. Two crashes heading over the Altamont Pass, West 580 near Grant Line. That one may be off to the shoulder, but the other one now, this is an injury crash, West 580 at North Flint up at the top of the hill. We do look like we have lanes blocked, stop and go traffic behind it. Bay Bridge here, no longer into the MacArthur Maze, just a little past West Grand, and still dealing with a stalled rig on the Katati grade. This is North 101 before Railroad Avenue. That's in the right lane. Next update, 8:08 on the traffic leader, KCBS. Mostly sunny skies expected throughout the afternoon today. After the overcast dissipates, highs expected to get into the 60s and 70s at the beaches. 90s inland. Traffic and weather together on the 8th on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS. Monday, August 22nd, 2022, coming up on KCBS. A car with a body inside is pulled from a Truckee lake not far from where 16-year-old Kylie Rodney was last seen.
I'm Jennifer Hodges. She promised to get drugs off the streets of San Francisco. Now next steps in order to make that happen by the city's district attorney.
CBS News covers the world next.
When you need to know, KCBS AM, KFRC FM, and HD1, San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, and Odyssey Station.
8 o'clock.
CBS News on the Hour, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
That's Steve Case. Blames Ukraine for the car bomb attack that killed the daughter of a Putin ally, and Vladimir Putin has called the killing cruel and treacherous. CBS's Charlie Daggett is in Ukraine.
Kyiv quickly denied responsibility. The president's office saying, unlike Russia, we are not a President Zelensky has warned that Russia might be planning something particularly nasty to spoil Independence Day celebration.
An area scarred by wildfires has now been submerged in floodwater.
I've lived here for 50 years. This is like a 500-year flood, not a 100-year flood.
Torrential rain forced flooding and some emergency rescues in North Texas. A hiker is missing in Utah after a campground flooded. A CBS News meteorologist David Parkinson.
We have an exceptional drought, so this will help to alleviate it, but the ground is incredibly parched. It is incredibly it can't absorb necessarily all of the water that it normally would be able to.
Well, CBS's Robert Costa reports this could be the week former President Trump acts on a security footage from the night the his Florida home.
The former president and his lawyers are looking through surveillance footage from Mar-a-Lago, wondering how to use it, if to release it to the public or use it as some part of political campaign. As he expresses his no decisions have been made at this moment, but there is a real concern on the FBI and DOJ side about this, since threats against agents since the surge have spiked.
On the inflation front, CBS's Jim Krasula reports on a welcome change of pace at the grocery store.
We have less of a beef with beef prices. Prices of beef, typically among the costliest grocery store purchases, are falling after more than a year of increases. That prompted many Americans to buy less beef and switch to less expensive protein like chicken and pork. Beef supplies are improving with better staffing at meat plants.
A recount in 9 of the 105 counties in Kansas confirmed the state vote in favor of abortion rights. Activists who demanded the recount offered no proof of any irregularities. Well, a long car ride with young children can be challenging. CBS's Vicki Barker has some new numbers from British researchers.
A survey of 2,000 parents of under 12 discovered, among other things, that the average child asks, "Are we there yet?" just 32 minutes into a car journey and has a backseat meltdown at 1 hour and 10 minutes sooner if there's a sibling present.
Well, checking Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 490 points. The S&P is down 75. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
8:03 at the Bay Area's news station KCBS. Sunny skies expected throughout the afternoon today once the overcast dissipates. Good morning, I'm Melissa Colross, and here's what's happening. A car with a body reportedly inside it has been pulled from the same Truckee Lake where authorities indicted year-old Kylie Rodney for the past 2 weeks. KCBS reporter Matt Bigler joins us live now from Truckee with this update. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Melissa. The car and the vehicle, as you mentioned, were found over the weekend in about 14 feet of water in a reservoir near the campground where Kylie Rodney was last seen. The vehicle has been towed out of the water, shielded from view by TV cameras, and we are now waiting for released this morning by officials. The assumption has been that this may very well indeed be Kylie Rodney, the 16-year-old Truckee girl who has been missing for about 2 weeks. That is the extent of what we know since this volunteer dive team made their announcement over the weekend. But that reservoir, I just looked at the map, that reservoir where the vehicle and the body were found is the Prosser Lake Reservoir, which is not far from the Prosser Family Campground. In fact, the reservoir is all around that campground. It surrounds the campground on 3 sides. And that is where Rodney was last seen with hundreds of other young people at that large party. The Nevada County Sheriff's Office has called for a news conference at 11 o'clock this morning. So we will know a lot more, hopefully, in about 2 hours. It is expected they may release the identity of the body, and if there's any indication at this point how that vehicle may have ended up in the water. Live in Truckee, Matt Bigler, KCBS.
Thank you, Matt. Police on both ends of the bay were chasing down sideshow drivers over the weekend. KCBS reporter Holly Kwan joins us live now to tell us in the South Bay, drivers and spectators didn't wait until dark to start gathering. Holly.
And Melissa, this flagrant display of spinning donuts and backing into the crowds was in broad daylight Saturday at the very busy entrance to the Great America Theme Park, and then later at Highway 87 and Santa Teresa, then again at Lundy and Concourse Drives. Video shows people hanging out of cars or swing dangerously close to the crowds. Smoke from the tires obscuring drivers' faces, the license plates blacked out with tape. Some in the crowd looked to be throwing water balloons at the cars. Police eventually lining up their SUVs with lights and sirens on, slowly creeping towards the sideshow to disperse the crowd. San Jose police have been trying to crack down on sideshows, issuing some 500 citations and making 7 arrests last month. In Oakland last night, an hour-long sideshow erupted at 10 p.m. at 98th Avenue, blocking flyers leaving the Oakland airport. Reporting live, Holly Plum, KCBS.
Thank you, Holly. San Francisco's new district attorney is taking steps to fulfill her promise of getting drugs off the streets of the city. KCBS's Jennifer Hodges joins us live to report on what her plans are to clean things up. Jennifer.
Yeah, Melissa, the first thing is to get everyone on the same page, ensuring police and the DA's office are united to fight crime.
To my knowledge, there was very little cooperation between the two. The DA's office wasn't working collaboratively with them at all. And so I came to the table saying I was hoping for a complete reset.
District Attorney Brooke Jenkins will be meeting this week with police in the Tenderloin District.
What it allows for is, again, the morale to go up. I think for 2.5 years now, SFPD has felt as though their work has gone unnoticed and unvalued, and we can't have that. We need them to understand that we will do our part once they turn over a case to us.
Jenkins has said the open-air drug markets are her top priority in San Francisco, stressing she's going after drug dealers and not users. Her policy allows prosecutors the option to argue that a drug dealer should be held in jail ahead of a trial. Reporting live, Jennifer Hodges, KCBS.
Thank you, Jennifer. Just ahead on KCBS.
I'm Keith Manconi on a flurry of recent endorsements that have both candidates in San Jose's mayor's race riding high.
KCBS traffic and weather time. It looks like a crash on the Altamont Pass. Kim's got the details from your local Honda dealer's traffic center. And there have been two of late. The first one on West 580 near Grant Line's off to the side. The more concerning one is the one heading toward the top of the hill. This report brought to you by Pacific Private Money. This one is westbound 580. It's about a mile before you get to North Flynn, and it is an injury crash blocking at least one lane. Traffic is stop and go now, and it was heavy anyway out of the Central Valley. So there's two different spots of stop and go. Central Valley 205 from 11th Street at the merge to 580. It only picks up for a very short stretch. Then you're in stop and go traffic all the way toward the top of the hill. Earlier problems on the Sunol grade have caused a much more slowing than we normally see. So out of Pleasanton, southbound 680. And the brake lights a bit south of the Stone Ridge area as you head toward Castlewood. Stay slow down toward Andrade, where we did have earlier problems with a crash. The Pacific Private Money Bridge report looks at the Bay Bridge. The backup here from West Grand to the Toll Plaza, a little crowded coming San Francisco. Richmond San Rafael Bridge backup is at Canal Boulevard to the Toll Plaza there. Pacific Private Money can help bridge the financial gap between selling your current home and securing your new home. Find out more at pacificprivatemoney.com. Your next update, 8:18 on KCBS. Sunny skies with breezy conditions expected throughout the afternoon once the overcast dissipates. Highs today getting into the 60s and 70s at the beaches, 70s to the bay and into the mid-90s inland. Mostly clear this evening, then after midnight's coastal fog and low clouds push their way into the bay and toward the inland areas. Then tomorrow after the overcast, we will be mostly sunny with similar temperatures, just slightly cooler, especially inland. Traffic and weather together on the 8th on All News 106.9 and AM 40 KCBS. When you want something great, you probably don't want to wait for it, right? I mean, enjoyable as that. Well, Xfinity has a great new offer on fast internet right now. You'll get unlimited internet with gig speed and supersonic Wi-Fi too. And get this, there's no annual contract required, no equipment fees, and a 2-year internet rate guarantee. Plus, it even comes with a free Flex 4K streaming box. And it's all just $50 a month when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data. Price that is truly jaw-dropping. The Xfinity Supersonic Bundle. Well, don't wait. /gig. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store to learn more today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay. New gigabit internet customers only. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. After 24 months, regular rates apply to all services and devices. This November, California two initiatives on sports betting. What's at stake? We have a chance to tax and regulate sports betting to fund permanent solutions to our homelessness crisis. That's Prop 27. Prop 27 generates hundreds of millions every year to get people off the streets and into housing. On the other hand, Prop 26, not a dime to solve homelessness or treat addiction. Prop 27 has strong protections to prevent minors from betting and strictly prohibits betting on youth sports. Prop 26, no protections for minors. Prop 27 helps every tribe, including disadvantaged tribes. Prop 26, a money grab for the wealthiest casino tribes, leaving nothing for disadvantaged tribes. The differences are important, and the choice is clear. Vote yes on 27. Ad paid for by Yes on 27, Californians for Solutions, Homelessness, and Mental Health Support.